What's going on, guys? Welcome back to NolanTCG, and we are back here today for another deck profile, and this time it's for Kragen control, or I guess the current level 4 fish shark deck that's running around in the current format. Overall, I really enjoy the deck. I enjoy playing it and the general playstyle and everything. Only issue that I find is against the current meta, it struggles quite a lot. Like against Sword Soul, once they figure out what you're playing, they just make a Protoss and you lose. And against, Lyrilos Tri-Brigade, I never really found I could produce enough unless I, opened the full combo, at which point, things would still be a little bit rough, if you kind of get what I'm going at. Like, they still have enough resources to just keep throwing stuff at board and just keeps going. That deck's quite annoying. Yeah, but overall, I really enjoy the deck. I would definitely recommend playing it at your locals. Probably not something that's good for major events, although, it does dominate Rogue. This deck does absolutely destroy Rogue. So if that's what a lot of your locals is, I would definitely recommend giving this a shot. As always, though, before we do get started, please remember to drop down below and hit that subscribe button if you are new here, because we are always happy to have new people to the channel. And let's get on into this deck profile. Before we do get started on this one, though, it is brought to you, of course, by yourplaymat.com, who got us our beautiful NolanTCG extra deck sleeves. These are available on yourplaymat.com, as well as you can get custom sleeves and custom playmats, so whatever you need for the current format. There is an affiliate link in the description down below that does get you a little bit of a discount on your order. Also, enter the code NOLAN10YP for 10% off your order. Also kicks back a little bit to the channel, so everything will be very much appreciated. If you're shopping there, you're getting custom sleeves, custom playmats down. Make sure to enter our code at checkout. But let's get on into this deck profile. Okay, so starting us off, of course, we have our 3 copies of the Beautiful Princess. Card on summon banishes for cost, then allows you to special summon the level 4 fish type monster from your deck. You're typically going to be using it to summon the next card, which is your 3 copies of Buzzsaw Shark. Buzzsaw Shark then, of course, gets you the summon from the deck. That card can't activate its effects, but hey, you're rarely actually going to be using that card's follow-up effects anyway on board. After that, though, we are playing 3 copies of Right Hand Shark in this list. It is something that you can cut down if you want to cut down your shark lines. We do have one other card. I would probably recommend cutting 1 Right Hand Shark for. However, I did see a lot of the time today, whenever I had 1 for 1, I had Right Hand Shark when I was playing the list. So that is something to keep in mind. It is a very good discard outlet. We are also playing the Foolish Burial later on to be able to send the Right Hand Shark so that we can then use the Right Hand Shark to, I guess, extend onto the board. After that, though, we do have our more generic extenders. So we have the 3 copies of Silent Angler. I guess it's a free special summon if you control a water, but it does lock you out from being able to summon from the hand. Typically, you want to be trying to summon this off White Mirror and then netting the search for another one, because then that second one, of course, isn't locked. Then we have the next card that special summons from the hand. Does lock you to waters, though. It is 3 copies of Silent Sea Nettle. Again, control a water monster, summon. Does allow you to mulligan back. If you do want to be a very nice and degenerate human being, you can set up the Crooked Cook lock in this deck, and then Nettle stops you from decking out, which is always a cute thing that you can kind of do to stop you from losing those game states where you know they just aren't playing a target for it. I personally, a lot of the time, choose to break the lock myself, just because I'm trying to be nice, I guess. But if I was at a major event, I would definitely just hard lock my opponent and be like, no. Neither of us are playing here. And then lastly, the last of our level 4 waters, we are playing 1 copy of Tiny Spirit Chitana. I guess just a level 4 you can special summon. If you were going to cut 1 Right Hand Shark, I'd recommend cutting it for this. Rarely do I open this card, though. I guess, yeah, surprise, it's a one-of. But yeah, rarely does it actually come up to use its effect, but it is, again, level 4 water, special summons, away you go. After that, though, we do get into our hand trap lines, so I am not playing a go first version of this deck. I am playing go second version, so that does mean there is a heavier hand trap line. That does, of course, mean we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring starting us off for our hand traps, along with then a double ratio of 2 Effect Veiler and 2 Droll and Lockbird. Just trying to trim space, and I quite like Droll and Lockbird at the moment, so I wanted to be playing 2 of it. You can, of course, maximize it at 3 if you want to find the space from other things, but I just wanted to fit in the 2 of this, so I decided to cut an Effect Veiler to fit in the second Droll and Lockbird. Then we do go to our spells and trap cards after that. So, of course, starting us off, we have our 3 copies of White Mirror. Very good card, Reborn and Eroder. Who can say no to that? It is a Reborn that loses to Ash Blossom, however. But I've been playing those for a while, in case you've been watching the channel. Dragon Maid Hospitality, anyone. Then lastly, we have our other Rhoda. I rarely activate this card. Like, if I see it, I will just hope to have another way to Beautiful Princess because I don't want to halve my life points. But I guess, yeah, it's a 4th copy of Beautiful. It does halve your life points. That is something to keep in mind. I will rarely actually use it. And then after that, we go into the rest of our consistency cards. This can effectively be Prosperity if you want it to be Prosperity, but we have gone with 3 copies of Pot of Desires in the main deck. Reason why we went for Pot of Desires is we're playing a 3 ratio of pretty much everything important. Yes, this does conflict with the next card in our list, which is Crossout Designator, but overall, I figured it wasn't that much of a difference. That done does bring us to our Crossout Designator, though. Really didn't want my an Ash Blossom to come down on Beautiful Princess. I felt as though that would be really bad if it was normal summoned. So going the Crossout Designator, I felt it was really, really good. You do miss out on that like fun interaction though of being able to use it in like matchups and stuff. Like if you're playing a mirror match and you got Crossout, that's good, but it's rare you're going to be playing a mirror match with this deck. If you are though, and you open your Crossout, good days, good days. Then we do get to our Power 1-ofs for our spells. Of course, another Hand Trap Disruptor. We have the 1 copy of Call by the Grave. Want to make sure to stop those Ash Blossoms. And then 1 copy of 1-for-1, of course, to summon our Beautiful. 1 copy of Instant Fusion because it's another level 4 water extender. And 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Again, it's effectively a level 4 water extender. Also is a nice Ash bait. And then lastly, we have the cards that round out our main deck. It is, of course, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. That then does now bring us to our extra deck. And of course, starting us off, we have the man that I guess makes the deck go around. Like, it is not super necessary. There are actually a lot of turn 1 boards where you don't make Stealth Kragen. But yeah, we do have the Stealth Kragen. It's very, very good for controlling the game if you do get into that situation. In the side deck, I do play the Gozen match. So if you go first, you side in the Gozen matches. Kragen plus Gozen, your opponent's just not playing the game. We do then feed into our 2 Kragen spawns after that because we want to be able to try and loop these guys around. Then for the Toad package, we have our 2 copies of Bahamut Shark followed up with our 2 copies of Totally Awesome. If you don't use the Sea Nettle, you can go Bahamut Shark into the next card, which is our Utopic Future. And then the Utopic Future does, of course, get you to your Utopic Future Dragon, or Utopic Draco Future. This is essentially your triple negate board if you can get it established. It is the 1 copy of Draco with the 2 Totally Awesome. Quite a good board when you can generate it. Just remember you can't generate it with the Silent Sea Nettle. That is something that you cannot do. Well, of course, you can use it if you like normal the Sea Nettle or something like that, but of course, yeah, locking you to water. This ain't water, this says light. After that, though, we do go into the rest of our rank 4s. We have 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, because it gets really big against the 500. That's definitely the reason why you play 1 Abyss Dweller in this deck. 1 copy of Crooked Cook follows that up. If you do want to be generic, you can, degenerate, not generic. You can go into the Crooked Cook with your right-hand shark, and then that Crooked Cook's going to be very difficult to route for your opponent. If they're playing a Kaiju or the Link 5, they can get through it, but if they're not, tough times, tough times. And then lastly, the last Xyz, it is 1 copy of the Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. This and Crooked Cook are 2 cards you also cannot go into if you activate Silent Sea Nettle, so do keep that in mind as well. I'll typically use the Zeus anyway to go over the top of the Crooked Cook in situations where that's relevant, or if I've gone like Bahamut Totally Awesome play, you then slap this over the top of the Bahamut Shark, you use the Toad Negate, then you clear the board. You know, fun things like that. Then, next off, we have our 1 level 4 water that comes out of the extra deck off the Instant Fusion. It is our rare fish. And then 1 copy of Mega Clops rounds out our main deck, of course, because Mega Clops, very good. A lot of decks struggle to out it, and it's pretty cute to be able to bring back your Totally Awesomes from Graveyard. But that does wrap us up here for the deck profile for this one. So if you do have any recommendations or things you would change, as always, do make sure to comment them down below. Again, like I said at the start of the video, I think the deck is very, very good against other rogue decks. It's just in the current meta, it's not the best. Maybe we'll see going forward whether or not it'll be good against other things, but at the moment, it's not the best against like Sword Soul and Lyrilusk. But, you know, against everything else, very, very good. But as always, I have been Ben from NolanTCG, and have a good afternoon, everybody.